Hey, what's up guys? It's Nasir from VALORANT. VALORANT Update 9.08 Patch Notes, gekko and 𝐊𝐞𝐞𝐩 changes, Sunset B-side overhaul, and more. VALORANT 9.08 Patch Notes, all platforms. Agent updates, gekko. As you have mastered gekko's utility since his last buff in patch 7.12, we've noticed that his core play pattern of using and reclaiming his buddies has little to no downside. These changes to his globules put pressure on gekko to reclaim them more quickly and also allow for more counterplay for gekko's opponents to punish him if he's too reckless. 𝐊𝐿 and wingman are each improving their overall reliability to reduce cases where you hear or see them target and debuff an enemy only to find that the enemy is unaffected. These changes are targeted at addressing inconsistent behavior rather than a direct power increase for gekko. 𝐊𝐿 is in a healthy state in terms of how often you successfully engage in its shooting counterplay, but we feel that 𝐊𝐿 holds space and angles for too long. Additionally, given gekko's overall number of plants and defiance with wingman, Thrash is available too frequently for its impact. We hope these changes don't wildly affect gekko's place in the ecosystem, but instead put him in a healthier long-term place. Globules, reduce time in world 20s to 15s. Reclaim time increased from 1s to 1.5s. 𝐊𝐿, time active after being thrown and forming is reduced from 1.5s to 1s. 𝐊𝐿's targeting algorithm has been updated to be more reliable. 𝐊𝐿's goop flash now also blinds the minimap of affected players. Wingman, increase the angle of the 𝐊𝐞𝐞𝐩 area by 45 degrees to 65 degrees. When wingman turns into a globule after planting the spike, there are unique visuals. Thrash, ultimate points increased from 7 to 8. 𝐊𝐞𝐞𝐩, various abilities were not showing effects on 𝐊𝐞𝐞𝐩's fake out clone, which made it too easy to discern it from the real 𝐊𝐿𝐞𝐞𝐻. We are going through abilities in the game and making sure they interact correctly with 𝐊𝐿𝐞𝐻's fake out. 1. Blind abilities like gekko's 𝐊𝐿 and 𝐊𝐿 Rose will now display the blind effect on 𝐊𝐿𝐞𝐻's fake out clone as if he were a real agent. 2. 𝐊𝐿𝐞 will play her successful blind celebration lines when blinding 𝐊𝐿𝐞𝐻's fake out clone. 3. Cypher's neural theft will show the 𝐊𝐿𝐞𝐻's fake out clone. 4. Clove's metal will now show the slow effect on 𝐊𝐿𝐞𝐻's fake out clone. Sky and Jet. Jet's tailwind and Sky's trailblazer will no longer stop at the window in ascent. Instead, they will bust through and continue movement onto the other side. Cosmetics updates. We've made some updates to several scope reticles to make them more clean and less distracting. Here is the list of updated skins: Araxes Operator, Valiant Hero Operator, Reaver Operator, Gothic Marshal. Thanks to Dirk for the feedback. Introducing 𝐿𝐞𝐞𝐩, Valorant's newest team deathmatch map. A 5v5 map that puts you in a dual-themed arena. This is the 5th TDM map and takes place in a glitched-out max spot arena. 𝐿𝐞𝐞𝐻 is playable via the team deathmatch game mode queue. Map rotations. 1. Pearl and Split are back in the competitive queue. 2. Icebox and Lotus are out of the competitive queue. Sunset. We're updating Sunset's B-side to address defensibility, post-plant, and provide more ways to play on site. The B main pivot box was adding a ton of pressure during post-plant, so we've opted to simplify the cover here. You can still play B main during post-plant, but it should now be more accessible for retakers to manage. A particular Cypher trip has also been removed with these changes. Bug fixes. Maps, Abyss. The spike will now spawn correctly at B danger if it falls off the map. Only PC changes. Premiere updates. Welcome to stage E9A3. 1. At the end of this stage, the top 16 teams in Invite will remain in Invite. All other Invite teams will be demoted at the start of the next stage. These rules are listed on the Standings tab. 2. Demoted teams will be seeded into the zone they were initially promoted from. In the next stage, team owners can change their zone in the team settings drop-down anytime before the team plays a match. 3. If your team cannot be placed into a zone at the start of the next stage, your team owner will be prompted to select a zone. 4. Divisions other than Invite will not have demotion, and teams will still be promoted or be seeded into a division as usual at the start of the next stage. Contender eligibility updates. 1. If you have 5 contender eligible players on your team, you are guaranteed to be placed into the contender division. 2. Contender eligibility for 2024 expires at the end of stage E9A3. 3. To be a contender eligible in 2025, you and your team must perform a qualifying action in stage E9A3 or at any point in 2025. Qualifying actions include: 1. Play a weekly or playoff match on a team in the contender or invite division. 2. Reach Immortal 3 or higher peak rank in competitive. 3. Play in a playoff match in Elite 5. Contender eligibility for 2025 expires at the end of the last stage in 2025. Bug fixes. Premiere fixed an issue where you would see a competitor crest after playing a practice match on a brand new team despite not having earned any points.